I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Welcome back to Oops, the podcast. Today's Thursday. I'm sitting here with Mr. Giulio Gallerati. My name is Ryan Lynch. There's a lot to talk about today, but before we get into what we're talking about, let's hear Giulio say his name and his voice real quick for us.
Giulio Gallerati.
That was nice, wasn't it? That was really, really nice. Giulio has a very soft and comforting voice. You make for a great flight attendant. And I have I've come to realize that I do not like the deodorant that I'm using.
What's wrong with it?
About a year ago, I heard that aluminum is bad for you and it gives you cancer and like it's just not good to have in your deodorant. We start to see that over the last 12 to 6 months, and so I switched over to a different
12 to
one.
6 months?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's an interesting metric.
Yeah, over the last 12 to 6 months, we've heard that.
Okay.
Year, half a year.
Yeah.
Last year to half a year, we've been hearing that. That's how it's been.
That's how it's been.
That's how it's been. That's what I said. And I switched over from my Old Spice Fiji to some other brand that was a little more expensive, but it was aluminum free.
Was the Fiji the white one or the clear one? Sorry to interrupt.
It was the white one. And it's not that I have BO. It's not that I smell bad, but I don't like the way it smells. I don't like the way I smell now.
I don't like it either.
You don't like the way I smell?
No, I don't know the way you smell, but I know what you mean.
Okay.
The smell of the deodorant that doesn't work is not good.
Because it's not working. And now I'm starting to realize, like, I don't care if I get sick. Like, I want to smell like a volcano. Like, I want to smell like an island.
Yeah. I know.
It's not the same. I'm going to switch back. It doesn't work.
I've gone through this.
It's expensive, doesn't work.
I'm back using Volcano.
Yeah.
And I'm knocking on wood.
I want to smell like the ocean. I want to smell like the beach. I'll go through chemo. I don't care.
No,
I need to smell good.
Careful what you wish for, Lynch. But no, I feel you. It's a tough one. There's a big gap in the market where when somebody figures out the all-natural deodorant that works, that person's going to be very wealthy.
Yeah. I had a roommate in college that would use coconut oil as a 5-tool. Everything. He'd cook with it, obviously. He'd rub it in his hair. He'd brush his teeth with it.
On the body.
And he would wash his body with it.
And use it as a moisturizer, I'm sure.
All the same tub.
Yeah.
Just stick his hand in there, throw it in a pan. Stick his hand in there, throw it on a toothbrush. Stick his hand in there, throw it under his arms.
Toothpaste is crazy.
Yeah. He's a psycho.
But look, it's just a little too hands-on for me. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be the same like that. It just kind of like gets gross eventually. It's just big coconut.
It's not good. The aluminum deodorant, I've never questioned it. I've been doing Fiji Old Spice for a decade. I find out about the aluminum thing. I'm like, oh, this is bad, and I know it now. And if I continue to do it, that's on me. And so I switched, and it sucks. It sucks. It doesn't smell bad. It just doesn't smell good.
Agreed.
I don't want to smell not good anymore.
It actually smells bad, but you don't smell bad, but it smells bad, and you smell like it. I'm not saying that I'm aware of that.
You
smell it, and you smell like it.
Regardless of whether you smell bad or not, you think you do.
And it doesn't work. And you not only smell like it, sometimes you smell like you and it. And then you don't know which is which. They're both bad, and they're combining their powers to make it potentially worse or just a different kind of bad.
I don't like the way I smell like food.
You smell like food.
I want to swallow poison right now. I hate smelling like not what I want to smell like.
You want to throw on some Fiji? I got some.
No, thank you.
Okay. I think that ultimately using somebody's deodorant is worse than wearing bad deodorant. Probably.
Yeah. You and Hill Dog not having the same bathroom will do you one better. I don't like Vic looking at me putting deodorant on. It's a very intimate and I think gross thing.
Agreed, actually. And sometimes I'll forget to put deodorant on, rarely, but then I'll go buy a disposable, like mini travel one, and I'll try to like slyly put it on and just throw it out. And like, I'm afraid of people seeing me.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. Oh, the worst was in high school or middle school and forgetting to bring your deodorant stick for gym.
Oh yeah. Not good.
Do you remember the first time you got body odor?
Not really. I think I was ahead of it. But I remember when the gym teacher started telling us that we should start wearing deodorant. It was a little preemptive. We were like too young. But like there is an age where like lots of people aren't wearing it yet and everybody smells like shit. Middle school is just a disgusting, weird time.
Yeah.
Nobody's cute anymore. You just are like weird looking. The girls are all taller than the boys. It's like a weird time, dude.
Yeah. There was this guy that I went to school with named Chris, and there were plenty, so this is generic enough. No one can pin him. But what he would do, because he was a little weirdo, he would walk by girls and he would graze their legs with his hands. And he built a reputation of being like a leg grazer.
Jeez.
But everyone felt so bad for him, they never told on him.
They just let him do it?
He was so, everyone felt so bad for him that they didn't tell on him.
What do you think he's doing now?
He is, I know what he's doing right now.
Is he doing all right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. He's a mutual friend.
And he showed up to your bachelor party.
No. But I don't think he's doing well.
Hate to see it.
I don't think he's doing well.
Hate to see it.
The guy.
How could he?
How could you? No one told you to stop. He's probably got some Black Mirror shit going on in his basement. Yeah. I don't know. I remember the first time I got BO, I was doing Goldilocks on Trial up on Broadway in Bernardsville Middle School, Broadway.
You went to Bernardsville Middle School?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. I did a gig there the other day.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Keep going.
Played the big bad wolf. And at rehearsal, I was doing a scene with Brenna, and I was wearing a dark green Aeropostale shirt. And it was the kind that had like each letter was individually stitched onto the shirt. You know what I'm talking about, Hollister, Abercrombie, those graphic tees. And it was already itchy. And I remember I just go, ooh, is that me? And it was me. And I went through play practice under the beaming sun light. My mom picked me up and I was like, Mom, let's go to CVS. I'm becoming a man.
Did you say that?
I told her, I was like, Mom, I need deodorant. So
What'd she say?
she was cool. She's like, sure.
My parents would have been in denial. They'd have been like, no, you don't.
Oh, that's not helpful.
You're a little boy.
That's not helpful.
I don't remember, but yeah,
That's
I agree.
not helpful. Not helpful at all.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Well, and if you can smell it, you know that it smells. Because it's amazing how people don't know they smell sometimes.
Yeah.
You smell like shit, dude. And the person has no idea.
Yeah. Because I'll never forget if someone smells horrible.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't want anyone to smell me when I don't feel like I'm smelling my best and thinking Ryan smells all the time. And even if he doesn't, I'll always remember when he did.
Dude, when I register when people don't smell good. And when I see them, I turn my nose off. I only breathe through my mouth. Yep. That's even Black Mirror shit. Yeah. And I will be like, I'm not going to smell this person.
Yeah.
Is smelling like the outside a thing that you've heard?
Smelling the outside?
Smelling like the outside. Have you heard that term? That's a term that Hill Dog uses.
No.
And I don't think it applies to like your scent. It literally just applies to the fact that you smell like you've been outside.
Interesting.
Which, yeah, not on my radar personally, but.
No.
And I've heard a couple other people say it since randomly. But yeah, okay.
Oh, I get it.
Well, you said you have a gripe currently.
Oh. I saw Sinners.
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to go see it tomorrow.
I saw Sinners in IMAX 70 millimeter. Whoa. IMAX is stupid. It's not worth it. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm like the 70 millimeter, the 10 theaters in the country where you can see it.
There's only 10.
It's supposed to be a square. And I'd say maybe like 8% of the movie is actually a square.
So it's a big square?
So the theater, it's one massive square. Massive square.
And is it curved?
Not curved. And then some scenes, very few scenes, take up the whole screen. And that's the whole 70 millimeter that they're telling you about. You can't see it like this anywhere else.
Like Oppenheimer.
Yeah. But the other 93% of the movie is just a widescreen version with tons of black on top and tons of black below.
And are you aware of the black? It's like illuminated to some degree.
No, it's just now it's just like a regular movie being projected on a massive screen and not utilizing all of it.
Interesting.
So I just don't think like if you're like you got to see it on 70 millimeter, like you don't.
For Sinners, you do not.
You don't, or just in
Have
general.
you seen one where you're like, I needed to see that in 70? I've never seen a movie
No,
in 70.
I saw Oppenheimer there.
And you didn't think it was added?
I don't think it's cool if you're into that, but it wasn't. It's no longer a selling point to me.
Wait. It's cool if you're into that. You appear to theoretically be into that if it were more applicable.
If I'd be into the movie being a square the whole time, but I don't. I just don't. I think that's false advertising.
Got it.
And Oppenheimer did the same thing. There were a lot of scenes that were not square.
Interesting.
The scenes that were square in Sinners were great. But if it's only going to be a couple scenes, then I can watch a square video on my Instagram.
Was it a good movie?
So that's not the gripe.
Okay.
So I went with a couple friends, and my one friend bought the tickets. And the movie starts at 1:15. I got there at 1. I can't get in until I scan my ticket. 1:15 is when he arrives. 1:15 is when the trailers start coming. So we're late. Line for the concessions are long. We're waiting for like 25, 30 minutes. And we end up getting into the theater. We're sitting down and the movie had already started. And I found out later that there was some very important setup in the first 3 minutes of the movie. I was lost the entire time.
Oh my God.
Enjoyed it, but there was a big piece that helped paint a picture and set up the whole movie in the first 3 to 10 minutes. I don't even know how much of the movie we missed, but when we sat down, we were in the movie. No more introductions like, hey, where's Bobby? I'm like, who's Bobby? Who's Bobby?
One friend was responsible for this?
Yeah.
Brutal.
And so I feel like it's valid to be upset about that. I don't know if I can say anything.
Yeah. Agreed. I don't think you can say anything, but that sucks.
It was a $28 ticket.
That's like a plane ticket.
And I went
to Miami.
I got all the way, after the plane ticket to Miami. I went all the way up there. It took me an hour to get there. I got there on time. I got there early.
That's really frustrating.
And so I just
That's really tough.
It really sucks the whole time. And
That's
we're walking
rough.
out. My friend's like, that was the greatest movie I've ever seen. I'm just like, okay, so you're
like, it was the greatest 90% of a movie you've ever seen.
so every movie that you see must be the greatest movie ever because
I have no idea.
we don't know what we don't know. We don't know
what happened.
There's a vampire element. That's not a spoiler, but the whole setup about why that
Fully
is
a spoiler, by the way.
That's a part of the trailers and everything.
I've watched the trailer.
Okay. Well,
It's a spoiler for me.
Sorry.
Not for the general. It's okay. Not for the general. population.
Sorry. But like why that is, I have no idea why that was. The whole
they
time.
did like a really quick so here's the deal. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
There was like it was like a one-time narrator just saying like back in the day, like in this area there was blah blah blah, but then the Kakakadoogos came and did this. I would have loved to have known who the Kakakadoogos or whatever they would have been were. So that sucked. It sucked the whole time, like trying to pull context clues, and all I could gather was like most of the movie, but not enough for me to walk out and give it the reaction that it deserved, which was this is a great blockbuster. It's great for cinema.
Summer blockbuster.
Original story. It was like it's a great movie of the year, monumental moment type of thing, and I now I don't like it as much, and it's not the movie's fault.
That's tough, dude. You know, it just made me think of one thing I hate. I feel like they don't do it as much these days, but there was a time where it was happening a lot, where like you'd see a guy like doing something, and then it would like pause, and you hear like the main character narrator be like, "So yeah, you might be wondering, when was I like that? And what was I wearing? Like, but this is an important. You know, I think it's so cringe."
We were talking about that with I think Allie.
Oh yeah,
When it was on.
yeah.
The tropes.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I like them if it's done right.
Yeah.
I think they're fun, and I like how they kind of they like over embellish and lean into it, knowing that it's like over the top now.
Yeah, right.
See that guy with the double popped collar?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's
And here's my night when I met Lil Wayne.
yeah.
Or
Lil Jon.
Lil Jon.
Yeah. Shout out to Andrew.
That was if you haven't listened to the episode with Andrew, go back and listen to that. It was one of my favorite top 5 ever Oops
really
episodes. He was
really
fantastic. It was great to meet him.
Good podcast.
Yeah, so that happened. It just kind of ruined it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. That's you are in no way overreacting. That would piss me off too. That's really brutal.
And we were the people that were walking through people to get to our seats.
Excuse me.
Well,
I think that's her.
I just wanted to just give them money.
Dude, I went to see a movie in a theater where there was assigned seats, but you couldn't see the seat. So nobody was sitting in them, but some people were like, "You're in our seats," and I was like, "This is so annoying," because we sat in the wrong seat, and I was like, "Is someone going to move us?" And I was just had anxiety about it. I'm like, "This sucks."
How'd you not see your seat?
Because it was the previews had started, and it was like a vintage theater, and you couldn't see. You couldn't see it. It wasn't illuminated. It wasn't clear. Even on the aisles, you didn't know the aisle or the seat unless you looked really close with your flashlight, which you don't want to do and disturb people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's quite the pickle.
We got an email that I want to share real quick about Big G. This is pretty funny. Hey guys, I'm a student at UConn Law, and today I met with a client at Cheshire Correctional, which is a prison, I take it.
I've driven by it.
We were talking about how Wesleyan offers classes in the prison, and I asked if he knew Big G. He said he's, quote, chopped it up with him before, and that he's a, quote, real one. Just thought you'd like to know that he has a good rep with the guys in there. Love it.
That's nice.
Big G.
Big G.
Got people in the streets and all over and in the prisons.
That's great.
Love to see it, dude.
Dude, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was bored yesterday, and I looked up Big G on Rate My Professor.
Oh, hilarious.
Have you ever done that before?
I have, back in the day. And then, the outlier negative one was, hard to read.
Yeah.
About your dad, so I just stopped reading them.
They were all...
There's a lot of good ones, though.
A lot of good ones.
People like him, yeah.
People like him a lot. And it was dated back to 2005.
Yeah, dude.
That's an OG website.
So, dude, in my lifetime, pretty much, when I was a little kid, he was teaching tennis still, finishing up school, because he's a professor, so he has a PhD. He was studying for a PhD, whatever. And my mom had a traditional kind of career. And then we moved to Connecticut, and he started working there, and he has had that job my whole life, which is very solid. It's nice as a kid to just have consistency like that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it has contributed positively to my, whatever it is, any good things that I have going for me. I think that contributed heavily toward.
I never thought about that. That is nice.
We never moved. We never we moved when I was 5 or 6, but since then, same house, same job, same everything, very solid. My dad was sort of notoriously cost effective. For example, we'd go out to McDonald's and he would get one big soda and 2 little cups, and we would have to pour it in the little cups, which I always thought was annoying. But I'm maybe that allowed us to have a consistent life where we never lived above our means or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's as I've gotten older, I realize more and more the degree with which people just get help from their parents in some capacity at some point. You know what I mean? And this is a true immigrant tale. He sort of torched blazed his own trail forward, both my parents, and I think it's impressive. So
it is impressive.
I'm happy about it for myself. And I worry about my own family because I'm am I going to even be around at all? I'm just constantly traveling. You know what I mean? Especially if my video stuff takes off. I'm trying really hard to make a schedule with it all that works with having a life at home also. You know what I mean? Where this last trip I shot 3 videos, and I think that I'm going to try to hold that standard where it's if I go on a trip, I'm shooting 3 videos, so I'm not constantly traveling, shooting trips or shooting videos on trips. So whatever. Anyway, I got a good one here. This is funny. So again, me doing too much. So while I'm at this wedding, I get a phone call that a package of mine from Sri Lanka has ended up with someone else. Now, I was sort of skeptical about this. It sounded sketchy. How did this person get my number? They called, I didn't answer. I listened to the voicemail. I'm like, huh. So I text the number, and it turns out it's a person who lives in my building complex. it's not really a complex, but there's like, 6 or 8 units or whatever. And it's a little confusing. Like it's not well addressed. So a lot of the time, like delivery guys will bring stuff to the wrong apartment. And this was just a classic, like the mail ended up in the wrong situation. So I'm sort of like, I don't want to ask him how he got my number because this package from Sri Lanka is sketchy. And I assumed what it was, and I was right. I've been ordering a bunch of foreign currency, which I think I've told you about. We've talked about this here. We took a picture of it. And it comes from all over the place. But I'm just making sure I get bills from every place that I've been if I didn't already have them. So, coming from all over the world. So anyway, I get back and I go over to their house to get my package. And it's actually a guy who I know. Like I recognize him from, I don't know him by name, but like we always see each other on the street. Hey, what's up? And he's like, hey man, yeah, I got it. Here you go. And I was like, oh dude, I was like, and I felt the need to explain the package.
What did the package look like?
Just the pack. It was like a padded envelope that was like self-addressed from Sri Lanka.
Yellow?
I think, but it was like, it wasn't white. It wasn't yellow either. It wasn't like a manila situation or like one of those classic Reed, whatever, like sticky ones. It was like a random gray, padded, like bigger. It was weird. It was weird looking.
Something that you typically wouldn't see.
Wouldn't typically see it.
Which is worthy of comment in your eyes.
It was worthy of suspicion. Not necessarily negative suspicion, but like, what the fuck is this? What's this guy doing? And this guy already thinks that I'm confusing because he was like, you're Canadian, right? And I was like, no. He's like, somebody was wearing like a hat, like different Canadian team hats. I was like, oh, that was me. I was like, I have a Winnipeg Jets hat. I was like, have you ever been to Winnipeg? He's like, no. I was like, well, if you did, you'd see that like that team means a lot to them up there. I can leave it at that. And he was like, all right. It's just kind of weird. Anyway, so he already thinks I'm like a wild card. So he hands me the envelope and, now he knows my name and I don't know his name because he saw the envelope. He was like, Giulio. And I was like, now I'm a bad neighbor. Like, fuck. Anyway, I felt the need to explain the envelope to him. And it turned into like a classic situation that Hillary says I've been getting myself in.
How'd you explain it?
I was like, dude, I know that envelope's random. I've been buying a bunch of foreign currency. Long story. And he was just like, yeah. I was like, God damn it, dude. Why am I doing this?
Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, like, what? Yeah,
cool, dude.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
You should tell him that, like, it's not, you should knock on his door and just tell him,
This
like,
is it, see?
by the way, see? Not weird.
It's a Swedish crooner. Krona? I don't know how to say
You can be
it.
like, you can borrow it if you want.
Yeah, you
can't
wanna?
have it.
Don't use it.
You can borrow it.
This puppy will get you. Jesus Christ. Riddle, dude. Another thing I've started ordering breakfast. That's a new bad habit that I have. Ordering breakfast. On Uber Eats.
Oh, Giulio.
I know. I don't know why I'm doing that. But dude, it comes in 2 seconds. No one else is doing it. Like literally I'll order it at 8:30. It arrives at 9:05.
Does breakfast come good delivered?
You'd be surprised.
What do you order? Are you ordering fruit-based foods?
I'm ordering a variety of things. Acai bowls sometimes. Other times breakfast burritos. Which it depends. If they sit around, they can definitely get. But for the most part, they arrive warm enough that like they're still in good shape.
Not a lot of sog?
No. Minimal sog. But sometimes there is sog, and then that sucks. But yeah, dude. Ordering breakfast. Did it today. Not a good expense.
What you have today?
Breakfast burrito. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably like, all right, I'll probably like go super light on lunch situation. Maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I've been eating 8 chicken sausages a day,
Oh my God.
which actually I should just get chicken breast.
Take beef up.
Yeah. I eat 4 chicken sausages in the morning, which is about 90 grams of protein. And then I eat 4 more for lunch, among other things.
You're looking as if you're building lean muscle.
Thank you.
Shoulders and the arms
I'm
looking
drinking
big,
a lot of
Chest
creatine.
looking big.
I'm drinking a lot of creatine right now. That always helps. Gets more water in the veins.
Fuck yeah.
The creatine's is where you can like feel and
No side effects?
No, you just have to drink a lot of water. Otherwise, it's bad for your kidneys. But as long as you're drinking a lot of water,
What's a lot of water?
I don't know the specific amount, just as much as I can. I'm very water
enough.
conscious. And then also the medicine that I take dehydrates me, so I just got to drink
You need to stay
even more
watered.
water. I need to water up all day.
You need to stay water and have a big gulp.
Drinking a lot of water. Vic and I are going through a long 10-day without seeing each other. So she did her bachelorette last weekend. Then instead of coming home, she went straight to Santa Monica for business.
Oh, wow.
She flies back Thursday afternoon. I'm going to meet her at the airport. We're going to have a bite to eat together.
Wow,
And then
cute.
she's going to go home. I'm going to go to Nashville.
Cute.
And then I'll see her Monday morning.
Which airport?
JFK.
Maybe I'll crash that lunch.
Yeah?
No, not. Hey guys, you're 10 minutes together. What's going on?
Julia, do you have a flight? No.
No, I'm just here.
No.
Let's see. My flight. Wait, what time's your flight?
9:30.
AM. I'm just.
No, PM.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna see you. Fuck.
Move your flight.
I can't have a show. Otherwise, I would. 11:30 a.m.
What time's your show?
My show's at it's at 8 or something.
8? Then come back.
My flight is out of JFK though, which is super random. But I'm flying into Dulles, which is like it's not random. I think it's the international airport in LaGuardia, in DC. But usually, you fly domestic into the other one. It doesn't matter. This isn't important.
How can we interact with each other that day at the airport? Can you leave something behind for me?
I could.
Or is that like terrorism?
I think that is frowned upon. Leaving something that isn't yours,
Can
or
you
leaving something behind.
can you leave me a mason jar of batteries hidden behind something?
Which terminal are you guys gonna be at?
I'm going to be at Terminal 5.
And where's she?
I don't know, but I'm going to get there early enough to meet her.
What airline is she flying?
I don't know.
Because I could help you plan this. Because Terminal 5 is JetBlue.
I'm assuming she's flying Delta.
Okay. Maybe you guys can meet at the TWA Hotel.
The TWA Hotel?
Or quick. It's the old TWA terminal that they turned into a hotel in Terminal 5.
I didn't know that.
It's very cool.
Really?
It's like 70s retro.
Oh, I saw models of that when I was there last. Very cool.
Could be a nice romantic
hangout.
Or you could book a room at the Express Suites so you guys can spend time in a bed together.
We don't need to book a room.
Okay. Just saying.
We yeah.
Just giving you some suggestions.
But if you could just leave me like a mason jar of like green juice and batteries,
okay,
and some sticks, just place it behind a seat or put it in the bathroom somewhere.
Okay,
that would be a fun handoff.
I'll leave you some pickled peppers.
Some pickled peppers.
A jar.
Yeah, but you got to put like a barcode on it or something. Could be a dead link. I don't know if they'd like that.
They might not like it, but we can try. It's like a message in a bottle. Dude, our boy Bradley. Remember I told you about the guy who's in the Navy? He's on fire with the notes. They're so
What are his little note updates?
Right, this is what we got. This is the first one.
Dude.
It's a picture of the aircraft carrier with 2 thumbs down.
Guy is acting like he's got no free will.
Then, yeah, I know.
Is he under 18?
I think he's 18. I need to get off this boat now. Star eyes. Then we have, I say, I need to get off this boat now. Then we have, he types deployment not for the week. I go, my brother, how is it? He goes, TS, like this shit. This must be a Gen Z thing. TS kind of ass, not going to lie.
Damn.
Never take land for granted, LOL. Can't wait to be a civilian again, cry emoji. Italy, double thumbs down.
How long does he have to do this for?
Ballistic missile inbound. What do you mean by that? I don't know how long he has to do it for. Damn. But he's out there in the field, bro, and he is hilarious. Shout out to Bradley, serving his country.
Your teeth look really white today.
Really?
Really.
Crazy.
Do you have a
I was using
a Lucian?
whitening toothpaste. I do have a Lucian, but I was using whitening toothpaste the whole trip. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. No, your
It actually works.
teeth look great.
White ass teeth, bruh.
Yeah.
Dude, so I gotta mention something new. Okay, this is important, and I was trying not to bring this up because I thought that it would be rude, but I'm gonna right now, and we'll talk through it because as it gets closer, it's just gonna get more and more awkward.
Yeah, what's up?
And hopefully you won't hold it against me. So you're gonna be in Tanzania for your honeymoon, right? I think I also am going to be in Tanzania during the same exact time.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think that's rude.
I think there's something like rude about that, like in my mind. I'm like, I've known for a while and I was trying to like figure it out. And in some way I didn't want you to like be annoyed about the idea that I would just happen to be in the place that you're going to be on your honeymoon.
No, dude.
You're going to be doing fancy honeymoon stuff and I'm not. I'm going to be like making a video. But the way it's worked out, I have somebody who's like helping out and they are pushing me toward Tanzania. And because it will be subsidized, I'm going to do it.
You gave me such a heart attack. I don't care.
The
I
look
think
on
that's
your
cool.
face is great.
I was like, what? What can I do? I'm trying my best.
You're doing a great
That
job.
sounds fine. That sounds great. That's cool. Okay. I hope we bump into each other. I don't know what Vic will think about it.
No, dude, I am not going on some sort of lavish
But we'll
safari.
see you at the airport, I guess.
I'm not going on some sort of lavish safari. I am, but then as I think about it, I'm like, well, it might make sense to like line up the dates so that, you know, optimizes the pod time away.
It would make for a great wrinkle.
Scheduling.
Yeah. Should we record an episode while in Africa?
Vic, BRB.
Vic, I'm gonna be gone. You gotta do ads. Vic, babe. Yeah, we gotta do ads. Yeah, we got 3 this week. Yeah,
Lucy.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I gave a zebra a Lucy, dude. He loved it.
Dude, that's great.
That's hilarious.
I'm glad to hear that. When do you fly out?
I don't know yet. I'm figuring it out, but the more the planning is happening, the more it starts to seem like it might be similar time to you.
Sweet.
When are you going? You don't have to we can cut this.
4th of July, 3rd of July night. Come back on the 17th or 18th.
Okay. So there's a chance there'll be a bit of overlap, but maybe not because I'm going to other places too. So, but dude, yeah, you don't even need to tell Victoria if it's. I don't want her to think this is gonna take away.
No. Oh my God, dude. I thought you were gonna. Ugh.
I'm glad that you're relieved.
That's fine. You're like, it's gonna get more awkward as we get. I was like, what?
No, if I waited longer, I didn't want there to be any world where it seemed like somehow that was taking away. Because like I understand how that could be annoying, but I'm not doing what you guys are doing at all.
Yeah.
I'm doing like completely
cooler
different
stuff.
No. I'm doing completely different stuff, dude. Like that is not like a honeymoon.
Okay.
So don't worry. But we'll be able to have things to discuss, hopefully. Similarities about the Dodoma airport or whatever we end up going to. What airport are you flying into?
I think that one.
Really? Or Dar es
Did you make that one up? I think I don't know.
No, I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up.
You could have baited me. You could have said the anything airport. I think I would have said probably. I'm being honest with you. I don't know. It sounds right.
You're gonna have the trip of a lifetime, dude.
Yeah.
And I hope that Victoria thinks this is funny and is not upset.
She won't be upset. Not for a second. Not for a second.
I did. It's like I didn't specifically go out of my way to pick it. Like
I know you did.
Literally, the guy.
You don't need to explain yourself, and you don't need to explain yourself to her.
I do, and I want to. Like
it's irrational.
He has like a charity that is based in the country of Tanzania, and like he is paying for all of or most of the shoot, which is massive for me. I go anywhere for that. Shout out to anybody who wants to pay for my trips.
Babe, it's for charity. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I will be doing no glamping. I will be doing no, I hope to see some animals, but it will be in nowhere near.
She'd prefer if you didn't see any.
And look, whatever you see is going to be much better. Please feel free to shoot some B-roll that I can use, that I can buy from you.
The only thing, if I come back from my honeymoon without seeing a kill, and you do, that's a problem.
Yeah, I agreed. Well, bro, I don't want to see a kill. So I think hopefully you'll be. And also, I think on the safaris, like, they know where all the animals are because they're like endangered and registered, and like they know which animal hasn't eaten in a while. Like they'll be able to take you to that. I won't have access to this type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I want all you guys to know I'm not a bad person for wanting to see a kill. That's human. That's the natural circle of life. It's totally fair to want to see that.
Have you envisioned the type of kill? Have you asked about what type of kills are possible?
I just want to see. I want to see a chase down, and I want to see a getaway. I'm not a bad guy. I want to see some getaways too. I just want to see a nice chase.
You want to see some action?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And the kill can be in a distance. I want to see some action.
Hopefully it'll be up close though. Right?
Close enough for me to see the catch.
And
I don't need to see the eyes get popped off of the teeth of a leopard.
So what if the lion it bites the baby antelope from the neck and takes it down? The other antelope come back to try to chase it off. They're not able to. The whole pride is now on this baby antelope. One of them bites its teeth into its neck. They all become covered in blood and begin to eat this animal slowly but surely. And then how long will you stick around? Will you stick around for the vultures to arrive and for the bugs and for that animal to be eaten clean? How long would you like to watch?
I don't know. We're doing private, so I feel like maybe it would be up to us.
You can do whatever you want.
I'd be okay to tap out whenever Victoria gets uncomfortable with it. As long as I don't need to wait for bugs and vultures. That sounds like hours.
Well, but what if she gets uncomfortable right away? Will you just cover her eyes and continue to watch?
Yeah. Just like when the guy jumped off the balcony of our apartment building in Stamford, Connecticut and landed on his head, and she ran over to the window to look, and I covered her eyes before she could see it. I would do the same.
When
for
did
her.
that happen?
During COVID.
Did he die?
Yeah.
You saw him die.
He didn't die there. He died at the hospital, but he was dead, basically.
How far up was the jump?
4 stories.
You heard the thud?
Didn't hear the concrete thud, heard the commotion. He lived directly upstairs. I think I've shared this before. We were watching the movie 1917. Is that
Dude, I've never heard the story.
is that the movie? The war movie?
That's the one that's like one take,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah, we were watching 1917. This was like 6 months into COVID. Everyone's kind of settled into the fact that this is how life's going to be for the next year or so. Watching 1917, got the music blasting, really into it. We hear a commotion upstairs. It's loud. Sounds like a lot of pushing and shoving. Oh, it's Friday night. There's, drinking, having a fun time. I work with one of the guys that lives upstairs. He's around my age, doing his thing. Then the commotion gets a little more loud and intense, and you hear banging and you hear screaming.
There's a struggle.
There's a struggle. You can hear like there's someone's doing something and a group of people are trying to stop. We hear bouncing and thudding around. My friend's now wife went to the bathroom, which was a little more insulated. She can get a better funnel of the sound from upstairs, and she heard a lot of like, "Stop it! Please calm down! Please calm down!" And
it was just two people.
It sounded like 3 people.
Okay.
2 people trying to calm down one angry person or fight one angry person. I don't know what it was. And then we hear the noise coming back in, and then we hear it going out this way, the master bedroom, then a balcony is what we have. They have the same thing above us, so we hear the thudding in the ceiling go in that direction, and then we hear a stop, oh my fucking God. And we could hear it through the ceiling, and it was thick, but it was muffled. We could still hear it, oh my fucking God. And then I ran over to look out the window because I was sussed out, got real quiet after that. We paused the movie, and I see a guy laying there.
You didn't hear him jump. You didn't hear him yell when he jumped.
No, it happened so fast. And so I saw him, blood, and his neck's all messed up, and he's twitching and stuff. And so Victoria ran in, and she's like, what? Because she doesn't know that someone jumped. She thought maybe someone threw a chair. I don't know. We didn't know. I didn't expect to see someone jumping. I thought it was a fist fight, and then someone was like throwing a TV or I don't know.
What time was it?
It's like sometime between 9 and 11
p.m.
It was at night. It was nighttime. And so
Jesus Christ.
And so I shielded her.
My God. How old was this person, you think?
He's probably in his late 20s. And
brutal.
And so then the police come, and now I'm freaking out, and I'm like, we're like kind of witness because we heard that. I'm like, we got to be ready to chat with the cops. My buddy Pete was like, I'm not dealing with this. He went to go to bed.
I didn't see shit, man.
He went to go to bed. I knocked on his door. I was like, Peter, you have to be awake. We might have to talk to the police. The police are surrounding our apartment building with guns, like 4 or 5 cop cars, and because they don't know if it was a murder, but they got a call about someone jumping, and they don't, and they're assault rifles, like the perimeter of our building. I'm watching, like just from our windows, and it turns out that the person that jumped took acid or mushrooms or some sort of drug and had a bad trip. And the friends were trying to calm him down. And I guess the noises in his head or whatever he was tripping up on was so intense that he was like, I need to jump out the window. It's got to stop right now. It's got to stop right now. And so he jumped out the window. And yeah, it's freaky.
Jesus, dude, that is insane.
And that's confirmed. That is what happened. That's not just I talked to the guy that lived upstairs.
You talked to the guy in the apartment?
I worked with him.
It was his friend?
It was one of his buddies.
And who was the third person?
Another buddy. Oh my God. So he just had a bad trip and just needed it to stop right away.
That exact thing happened to a friend of mine in college. His roommate did that. Tripping. Had like, dude, that's so fucked.
Did the friend pass?
Yeah. Very sad.
Yeah, dude. The synthetic
Jesus
stuff.
Christ, bro.
The synthetic stuff. I already was never about that, but that is just, that further cements the decision. I'm not going to do synthetic stuff.
Dude, that's crazy. Wait, synthetic stuff. Was it mushrooms or not? It was mushrooms.
I think it was acid or maybe something harder. I don't know. I don't know what drug he was on. Could have been mushrooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude,
Crazy.
like that was scary. And then because of how scary that was, this might sound twisted, but 1917, I like enjoyed it more because it was more intense. My emotions were like so spiked up that when we ended up watching the rest of the movie, it heightened the movie, and it just.
You watched it that night? You're like, all right, well, should we watch the movie again? What do you do? I don't know.
We finished it. we were like, we're not going to bed.
It's a great movie, by the way.
It was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
It was a great movie. It just, I think the senses were heightened.
Jesus.
So
dude.
I don't know why it made me like it more. It's not twisted. Like there's something weird going on there. I like Joker more because I was afraid of the guy with the backpack sitting in front of me at the theater. It was the night that the movie came out, and there were rumors that people were going to dress up like
That's
the
real
Joker.
4D.
Yeah, it's real 4D. I was bugging out, and I'm like, Peter, you just got to be ready. Like, you got to be ready to run. And he was like, if you don't calm down, I'm going to freak out, because I was like instilling all this fear into him. But there's a guy that walked in with a backpack right in front of us, sits right in front of us.
Is he weird looking?
He walked in right in front of us, and then he sat right in front of us. I don't know.
Is this after the shooting had already happened?
No, this was Joker, not Dark Knight.
Got it.
But as I'm walking in, I'm seeing reports like warnings, like increased security, like security's increasing at AMC theaters because of these like online threats. No, it was like on Reddit or something. Like people are going to go put a smile on that face. And but the guy had a backpack, and the kids that were at the hotel, I mean, the people running the movie theater were all kids. So like there wasn't security. That note had not been passed along to the Stamford, Connecticut movie theater. So I was just a little more nervous.
Was this after the jumping incident or before?
I think before.
Fuck. Dude.
So Joker in 1917, those hit hard.
Jesus Christ.
Just because of
even
the
if you rewatch them, do they still have a little extra?
It's always gonna have like a elevated space in my heart.
Dude,
I don't mean it like that though. Just like
an elevated space somewhere.
The movie, did you see Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, the scene where you don't know whether or not he's gonna kill the little guy after killing the big guy. That was like so intense for me because
he does not kill the little guy.
He lets him go.
The little guy's in the second one.
In the second one, testifying. So.
Fuck, dude.
So yeah.
Well, dude, to transition to something slightly less dark for the final moments of the show. 4D, right, is this thing where like stuff's supposed to physically happen while you're watching the movie, right? I remember my first experience was at Universal Studios, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 3D experience.
Really?
Yes, because as you're watching it, there's like mice on the floor and you feel the tail of the mouse underneath your chair, which that's like what 4D is, right? Like you feel like mist and like what other, have you ever gone to one?
So
like
I think
4D.
I'm going to look it up. I do think the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing was at Disney. Yeah, it was at Hollywood Studios. My one example is the exact same thing, different skin. It was Bug's Life at Disney World. And they're like, all right, critters, everyone gather around. Your seat would...
Yeah, oh my God.
And then the Muppet Show was 4D, and that had different scents and sprays and things like that. I heard Twisters last year had like a crazy 4D theater experience with wind, and your seats would move a little bit.
That is a bad movie, though.
Twisters?
Yes.
Interesting.
You liked it?
I didn't see the new one.
Dude, it's bad. The OG Twisters is a classic. Twisters is a bad movie. No offense. Like, the people who are in it must know that. They're like, whatever, this is a movie, we're going to make money. Like, I think it made money.
I think it did great.
Yeah.
Because what's his name was having like the craziest year.
Oh, Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell was having a big year.
Yeah, dude, that movie could not be more cliche. Anyway, guys, be careful out there. If you want to go see kills, pull up to Tanzania with us. We're having a party. Everybody's going.
Me and Julio and Victoria. We'll see if we get the ad reads done in time for her to come hang out with us and watch the sunset.
Victoria, I'm sorry. I'm not attempting to diminish your honeymoon. Your honeymoon's going to be incredible, and it will be much fancier and better than whatever it is that I'm doing. But I'll be doing a completely different, almost journalistic deep dive into some other things, and you guys will be enjoying animals, and I look forward to seeing the photos.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see about that.
So that's that. Oops Podcast. Come see us in Boston, June 12th at Laugh Boston. I'm also going to be at Zany's in Nashville, the 20th and 21st. Charlotte, North Carolina, the 17th through the 19th at Comedy Club at Duckworth's, and Coastal Creative in Florida. I'm thinking about adding a New York date at some point somewhere. I have to figure out where I'm going to do it, et cetera, et cetera. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Subscribe to my Patreon when it comes out for all my travel stuff. Follow us at Oops Podcast. Email us, oopspodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. And notjulio.com for tickets for all my stuff. Not Julio on Instagram. Lynch, anything to add?
Yeah, excited to be with Julio in Boston in June, so make sure to get tickets for that. Check me out at Ryan is Really Polite, and also SRE_improv, Steam Room Etiquette Improv. Please check out their Instagram. We're really building a really great monthly show. And if you haven't been to an improv show or you like improv, these people are hilarious, very talented, and very cool. The show last week was so much fun. We have another one on May 14th. I won't be there. I'm getting married that week, but there'll be more after that. But please, if you're looking for a good time, it's on a Wednesday night. Please get tickets to that. I have the info on my socials at Ryan is Really Polite. Check me out for clips and complaints, and we'll see you guys next week.